Welcome back to the Quarterly Call. All content is for informational purposes and is not investment advice. Please consult with an investment professional.
It's always a good reminder.
Especially with numbers like these. Airbnb's Q4, wow, they crushed it.
Yeah, they really did.
They didn't just beat expectations, they beat the whole travel industry.
It's pretty remarkable when you look at the numbers, ending the year with $2.5 billion in revenue.
Yeah.
A 12% jump year over year.
That's huge.
It's not just revenue, though.
Right.
Their profitability is equally impressive.
Yeah, break it down for me.
$461 million in net income, $765 million in adjusted EBITDA for the quarter.
Okay.
And get this, their full-year adjusted EBITDA was a whopping $4 billion.
Wow.
And what's really striking is their free cash flow, $458 million for the quarter.
Okay.
And $4.5 billion for the year.
So that's really showing the strength of their business model.
Yeah, it really speaks to the efficiency and strength of their model.
But what does that mean for investors?
Well, strong free cash flow gives them a lot of flexibility.
Okay.
It's like having a big pile of cash that they can use to invest in future growth, buy back their own stock.
Which they did.
Which they did, to the tune of $3.4 billion last year.
Yeah.
Or even just weather any potential economic storms.
So you're saying they're sitting pretty.
It seems that way, yeah.
And their Q1 2025 outlook.
Yeah, it reinforces that confidence.
Yeah.
Projecting revenue between $2.23 and $2.27 billion, a 4 to 6% growth year over year. And that's even before factoring in currency fluctuations.
Didn't they say something about tough comparisons for Q1?
Yeah, they did say that Q1 would have some tough comparisons just because of the timing of Easter and the leap year in 2024.
Right.
So that's probably why their projected adjusted EBITDA margin is expected to be a little bit lower.
Okay, but they're still aiming to maintain a full-year adjusted EBITDA margin of at least 34.5%.
Exactly, which shows that they're not just chasing growth for growth's sake.
Right.
They're committed to profitability.
They're being smart.
And disciplined financial management.
So we've got a solid track record, strong financials, confident outlook. What's driving all this?
Well, it's not magic, but they've been focusing on 3 key areas.
Okay.
Usability, affordability, and reliability.
I like that.
Think of it as the foundation.
Strong foundation.
For their growth.
Let's start with usability.
Sure.
I know they've been rolling out tons of new features and upgrades. What's the point?
It's all about making the platform easy to use.
Okay.
I mean, they're competing with hotels, booking sites, all sorts of other options.
Yeah.
They need to make sure that their platform is the easiest and most intuitive to use.
They've rolled out over 535 features and upgrades.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. Any that stand out to you?
Absolutely. So guest favorites, for example,
Yeah.
is designed to help users find the best listings.
Makes sense.
It's already resulted in 250 million nights booked. Clearly, people are finding it valuable.
Okay, affordability, because everybody's feeling the pinch these days. What is Airbnb doing to help people out?
Well, it's interesting because you'd think with travel booming and hotel prices going up, Airbnb would follow.
Right.
But their prices actually went down in 2024.
Seriously.
They're being very deliberate about it. They've implemented total price displays so you know what you're paying up front.
That's great.
They're giving hosts better tools to set competitive rates.
Right.
And pushing weekly and monthly discounts.
Really trying to make it work for everybody.
To attract travelers.
Okay, so they're making it easier to find a great place at a price you can afford.
Uh-huh.
What about reliability? How are they building trust and making sure guests have good experiences?
This is really crucial.
Yeah.
Especially as they expand into new markets and offerings. So they've launched this thing called the co-host network.
Oh, interesting.
Which connects hosts who need help managing their properties with experienced co-hosts.
So it's like a support system.
Exactly.
For hosts.
And it's not just about making things easier for hosts.
Yeah.
Co-hosted listings are earning twice as much revenue.
Wow, okay.
Which suggests that they're also providing a better experience for guests.
So everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
And they're weeding out the low-quality listings, right?
Yes, they've removed over 400,000 listings since April of 2023.
That's a lot.
Which is a big number, and it shows that they're serious about maintaining quality.
Yeah.
And protecting their brand reputation.
Makes sense.
A few bad experiences can really hurt.
For sure.
Especially in the travel industry.
Okay, so easy-to-use platform, affordable options, and a focus on reliability. But what's next? They keep talking about the next chapter.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
It seems like they're thinking bigger than just being a place to stay.
Right.
They want to become like a comprehensive platform, you know?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
for all aspects of travel and living.
So break it down. What is this next chapter?
It seems like they've outlined a three-pronged strategy, perfecting their core service.
Okay. Accelerating growth in global markets and launching brand new offerings.
Okay, so doubling down on what's working, expanding their reach, and new stuff. Tell me about the new offerings. What do we know?
They're being a little secretive, which,
Which is smart.
builds anticipation. But they've allocated between $200 and $250 million
Whoa, okay.
to develop and launch these new businesses throughout 2025.
So what are they?
Patience, my friend.
All right, all right.
All we know for sure is that the first new offerings are expected to be rolled out in May 2025.
So we just have to wait.
Until then,
Yeah.
we can only speculate.
Okay, well, where do you think they're headed?
Well, think about it. They have this massive global network of hosts,
Yeah.
a platform that's incredibly user-friendly,
Uh-huh.
and a brand that's synonymous with travel.
Okay.
They're in a prime position to expand.
So more than just booking a place to stay.
Yeah, imagine if you could book local tours and activities, personalized recommendations.
Right. Maybe even arrange for grocery deliveries, all within the Airbnb app.
Like a one-stop shop for your whole trip.
Exactly.
That would be amazing.
They've already got the infrastructure, they've got the data, they have the customer base.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's really all about leveraging those assets.
Okay, so what about AI? It's a big deal right now,
It is.
and it's obviously going to have a huge impact on travel. What's Airbnb doing?
They're being very thoughtful about it, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
So while some companies are rushing to implement like AI-powered trip planning tools, Airbnb is starting with something more fundamental: customer support.
Interesting. Why customer support?
Think about the amount of inquiries they handle every day.
It must be a lot.
Millions of people contacting them with
Yeah.
questions and issues.
Right.
AI can really streamline that,
Okay.
provide instant responses, 247 in multiple languages.
Efficiency response times?
Absolutely. But it's more than that. Their CEO, Brian Chesky, has talked about this AI customer service agent eventually evolving into a full-fledged travel and living concierge.
Whoa, hold on. A travel and living concierge.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty futuristic.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But think about it. You have a personalized AI assistant
Uh-huh.
that can help you with every aspect of your trip.
Yeah.
From finding the perfect place to stay to planning your itinerary,
Yeah.
booking experiences, even managing your travel logistics.
So like a personal assistant just for travel.
Exactly.
Is that really achievable?
Well, I mean, AI is evolving so rapidly.
Yeah, it is.
And Airbnb has some of the brightest minds
Yeah.
working on this, so I wouldn't underestimate them.
Okay, so they're starting with customer support and slowly building towards this bigger vision.
Right.
What else is on their AI agenda?
Efficiency is a big one.
Okay.
They believe that AI could boost their engineering productivity by as much as 30% in the coming years.
Wow. Okay.
So that means that they can develop new features and offerings faster.
So it's not just about improving the customer experience, it's about improving the company
Yeah, it's about making the company more efficient and innovative.
behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Streamlining operations,
It's a tool that can be used to streamline, improve decision-making.
being more agile.
Exactly.
I like it.
And responsive.
So they're really embracing AI, but in a smart way.
Yeah, strategic.
Strategic.
And human-centric.
Human-centric. I like that.
They're really considering how it can be used to enhance both the customer and employee experience.
Okay, so strong financials, big plans, focusing on the fundamentals, smart approach to AI. They're thinking long-term, but they're not afraid to be bold.
Yeah, they're always pushing the boundaries.
I like it.
And I have a feeling this next chapter is going to be a big one.
Okay, so before we get too excited about the future, let's go back and look at their financial performance. What are the key takeaways here?
One thing that really stands out is their exceptional free cash flow.
Yeah.
They've consistently generated impressive cash flow margins.
Which really shows just how profitable and efficient their business model is.
And that strong cash flow is what allows them to invest in all these new ventures.
Exactly, without compromising their financial stability.
It gives them that freedom to experiment.
You play the long game
Yeah.
to focus on building a sustainable business for the future.
And they're also being really careful with their spending,
Yeah.
especially marketing. They're not just throwing money at problems.
They're making strategic investments
It's smart.
that generate real results.
Let's talk about those global expansion efforts. Incredible growth in markets outside their traditional strongholds.
It's really impressive.
What's the secret sauce?
Well, one key factor is localization.
Okay.
They're really adapting their platform and marketing to specific regional needs and preferences.
Makes sense.
So it ensures that Airbnb feels relevant and appealing to a global audience.
They're also investing in brand marketing and partnerships in these new markets.
Absolutely.
Building trust.
Building awareness and trust.
And it's clear that these efforts are paying off.
Yeah, their growth in those emerging markets is outpacing their growth in, more established regions,
Yeah,
showing the huge potential for more expansion.
absolutely.
All right, let's talk about this co-hosting program.
The co-host network.
Yeah, it's been a big success for them, but how does it work?
It's essentially a marketplace
Okay.
that connects hosts who need help with experienced co-hosts.
So hosts get the support they need,
Uh-huh.
co-hosts get new income opportunities.
Exactly, a chance to leverage their expertise.
It's good for the guests too, right?
Yeah, because co-hosted properties tend to be better managed,
Okay.
resulting in a more consistent experience.
They're choosy about who they let into the program.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Co-hosts must meet strict quality standards
Okay.
and show a track record of excellence.
So it's about quality, not quantity.
Exactly.
That's reflected in the results.
Yeah, co-hosted listings are earning significantly more revenue.
It's addressing a real pain point for hosts, that fear of being overwhelmed,
Right.
having to manage a property.
Absolutely.
So by giving them access to these reliable and experienced co-hosts,
Yeah.
Airbnb is making it easier for people to share their homes and earn that extra income.
Smart strategy.
Smart strategy, okay? Enhancing reliability and trust. They've taken some bold steps to remove those low-quality listings
Huh.
and elevate the best hosts. What are some of the things they've done?
Well, one of the most impactful changes has been the introduction of guest favorites.
I like that.
It highlights listings that consistently get amazing reviews
It makes it easy for travelers to find the best.
and have a track record of providing great experiences.
Yeah.
They've also implemented a stricter host quality system.
Okay.
Includes more rigorous reviews and a system for removing listings that don't meet standards.
They're not afraid to take action.
They're not.
They've removed a lot of listings that don't live up to expectations.
And that really shows their commitment to quality
It's a bold move.
and guest satisfaction.
Yeah, building trust is so important, especially as they grow.
Absolutely.
And this shows they're serious.
It's essential, especially as they expand into these new offerings.
It's a smart business strategy.
Yeah.
They're setting themselves apart.
It creates a brand that travelers can rely on.
Okay, so we've talked about their performance, their plans for the future, their focus on reliability. But what does this mean for travelers like you? What should you be paying attention to as Airbnb enters this next stage? We'll be right back after a short break.
Welcome back, everyone.
All right, we left off talking about Airbnb's performance and their plans for the future. But let's get down to it. What does this mean for travelers? How is Airbnb going to change the way we travel and find places to stay or even live our lives?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah,
Airbnb has already changed the travel industry in a big way.
for sure.
And it seems like they're just getting started.
It does.
They're not just content with being a booking platform. They want to be like a whole ecosystem, you know?
So big picture,
Yeah.
but what does that actually look like?
Yeah.
What kind of changes are we going to see?
Well, think about their strengths.
Okay.
They have this huge global network of hosts.
Yeah.
A platform that everyone knows is easy to use,
Right.
and a brand that's known for unique travel experiences.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're in a good spot to build on that.
So if you were Airbnb, what would you do next?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think if you look at travel trends, there's a growing demand for personalized and experiential travel.
Oh, for sure.
People want more than just a place to sleep.
Yeah.
They want to connect with local culture,
Right.
have adventures,
Yeah.
create memories.
It's not just about checking off a list anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about immersing yourself in a place.
Right.
And that's where I think Airbnb could really excel.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine if you could book not just your accommodation, but also local tours, activities,
Yeah.
experiences,
Yeah.
all within the app.
That would be amazing. Like a personal travel agent in your pocket.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just booking.
Okay.
They could use their data and AI to create these super personalized recommendations,
Okay.
things to do and see based on your interests, past travels.
So it takes all the guesswork out.
Yeah.
No more endless scrolling on the internet,
Right.
trying to plan.
It's all right there.
Yeah, I love that.
And they could even leverage their host network to offer these unique off-the-beaten-path experiences.
Oh, yeah?
Imagine cooking classes with local chefs,
I love it.
or a casual coffee with a local who can tell you all about the neighborhood.
Wow, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Transformative.
And don't forget about their focus on longer stays.
Oh, yeah, right.
With remote work and, people having more flexible lifestyles.
More and more people are looking for places to stay long term.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Airbnb is well positioned for that.
For sure.
They have a bunch of properties for longer stays.
Right. Already.
And they're always adding more.
Yeah.
They could partner with co-working spaces.
Okay.
Maybe offer special services for remote workers. Or even create these co-living communities just for digital nomads.
So it's not just vacation rentals.
Right.
It's a whole new way of living.
Yeah, a global
A
network.
global network. Yeah.
For all sorts of needs.
Okay, what about transportation?
Yeah.
What about food delivery?
Could be on the table.
Financial services for travelers? Or are we talking about Airbnb becoming the Amazon of travel?
It's possible.
Right.
They have the brand, the technology.
Okay, but that's a lot to manage.
Yeah, it is.
How do they manage that kind of growth and expansion and still keep the quality?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Scaling their operation is going to be a big challenge.
Right.
Making sure they have the right systems in place.
The right people.
Processes to support this growth.
Yeah.
And they need to be mindful of their impact on local communities.
Right.
And the environment.
Sustainable travel is so important.
It is.
Especially now.
It's becoming more and more important, and they need to show that they get it.
Yeah.
That they're committed to these values.
Yeah, regulations.
Yeah, they're going to have to deal with a lot of different regulations in different places.
They've already had some pushback, right?
Yeah, in certain markets. They've
Yeah.
had some bans even.
Right.
So it's tricky.
So they have a lot of work to do.
They do.
But the payoff could be huge.
Yeah, if they can do it.
Okay, so we've talked about what Airbnb is doing. But how is this all impacting the travel industry as a whole?
Well, their success is forcing everyone to rethink travel. They've challenged hotels by offering something different, more personal, more authentic, often more affordable.
Okay.
And they've helped a lot of people become entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah, the hosts.
Sharing their homes, their knowledge.
Sharing their lives.
It's a whole new economy.
It really is, yeah.
And with their focus on sustainability, they're setting a new standard. They're getting travelers to think about their impact on local communities and the environment.
Yeah, it's not just about where you sleep. It's about the whole experience.
Exactly.
Right?
Airbnb is changing the way we think about travel.
And inspiring new travelers.
People who are looking for more than just the tourist traps and the typical stuff.
All right, we've talked about their performance, their big plans, their focus on being trustworthy.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about regulation.
Oh, yeah, regulation, the big one.
Every big company has to deal with it.
Especially disruptive companies.
Airbnb has had its challenges.
They have, especially in places like New York.
Yeah.
They've been accused of driving up housing costs, disrupting neighborhoods.
But they say they're helping.
Yeah, they say they're providing economic opportunities and helping communities.
It's complicated.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
With no easy answers.
No.
And it's something that they're going to have to keep working on.
As they grow.
As they get bigger.
Yeah, go global. They've had some wins, like with hotel taxes. But they've also had some losses.
Yeah, like bans.
Yeah.
It's always changing.
So how do they adapt?
Yeah.
How do they work with regulators?
Find that balance between residents, businesses, travelers.
Regulation is going to be a big part of their future.
Yeah, it's a key factor for investors.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today.
Yeah.
From their financials to their plans for the future.
It's a lot.
We've just scratched the surface.
Yeah, there's so much more to talk about.
But that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Airbnb is constantly pushing the boundaries.
Always evolving.
They're not afraid to experiment.
To try new things.
To challenge the status quo.
Yeah, to create something.
They're changing the world.
One stay at a time.
One stay at a time, and I can't wait to see what they do next.
Me neither.
It's going to be fun to watch.
For sure.
All right, before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay.
As Airbnb grows, what role do you see them playing in your life? How do you think they'll change the way you travel?
Yeah.
And experience the world?
Good question.
We'll be back with our final thoughts in a minute. Welcome back.
Time for our final call on Airbnb.
We've talked about their journey so far, their plans for the future, the impact on the industry.
And how they're handling regulation.
But what does it all mean for you? What should you be paying attention to?
Well, a few key areas I'm watching, those new offerings coming out in May.
I know, the suspense is killing me.
They're being so secretive.
Do you think it'll be those personalized travel experiences or something totally new?
Who knows? They've set the bar pretty high.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
For sure. I'm also really interested in their global expansion.
Yeah.
They're growing like crazy in new markets, but can they keep it up?
Yeah, that's the
Do
challenge.
they handle different cultures and regulations?
It's one thing to succeed at home, but going global is a whole other ballgame.
They have to be a global company, but still feel local and authentic.
Right, and then there's AI.
Everyone's talking about AI, but Airbnb's doing something different.
Yeah, they're not just trying to automate everything.
Right.
They're using it to make things better for people.
Remember that AI concierge?
Oh, yeah?
It's like having a personal assistant for your travels.
It's about finding that balance between technology and people.
Yeah.
And I think Airbnb's in a good position to figure that out.
And don't forget about their financials. They're in great shape,
Yeah, rock solid.
proven business model, tons of cash flow, and they're making money.
Which is important
It gives them the freedom to try new things,
to think long term
invest in the future.
without putting their business at risk.
Okay, so what does it all mean for travelers, for investors, for anyone who's excited about the future of travel?
Airbnb is a company to watch.
They're changing the game.
They're showing us that travel can be about more than just going places. It can be about connecting with people, supporting communities, experiencing the world in a new way.
And as they move into this next chapter, I think we can all agree on one thing.
What's that?
They're going to keep surprising us.
Yeah, they're definitely not boring.
It's going to be an exciting ride.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Quarterly Call. For more episodes, please remember to rate and follow our show. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.